don't hear anything.
Is that any better? Ah, there it is. There it is. You got me now?
I don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything? Okay. See, maybe you got to change your settings. Okay, everybody. So again, thanks for joining. Larry, aka Blue Man Rule. And I guess I didn't see my levels were not moving. So this is episode 44. Today, recorded today, October 24, 2016. Now at 6:03 p.m. Central Standard Time. Look, I'm happy to be back in your ear, joined as usual by my main Damien. He can't hear anything right now, but it's Mike, aka Scarfinger, aka Real Talk, whom you see over there. Now, I don't know what's going on, but apparently Mike can't hear us right now. I should not be.
Oh, I hear now. I'm good.
You good now? Okay. What's up, dog? What's up, player? I already introduced you.
My settings are messed up. What's up next? I'm okay, man. I had a very, very terrible couple days last week, and I still haven't recovered. Like I think I hurt myself that day.
Really?
And yeah, my leg still hurts. And my leg still hurts, and I think I hurt myself that day because it's still bothering me.
Man, that sucks, dog. So what were you out there doing, man? Over there doing Pilates in the garden or what?
No, man. I went to a job interview.
Okay.
Job interview went okay.
Okay.
And then they wanted me to come back the next day to shadow somebody.
Okay.
And everything they told me about everything was wrong.
Wow.
So I was dressed wrong. I parked wrong. It was downtown Richmond. So I'm in an area where you got to pay to park and all that other shit. And so I like that was wrong. Like what was supposed to happen during that day, what they told me was wrong. Like all of this stuff, and it just piled up, and it turned out to be a really horrible day. And I ended up doing a lot of walking in downtown Richmond with some dress shoes on.
Oh, dog, that's tough.
I'm talking about walking blocks.
With the Stacy's on? You got the Stacy's on walking blocks?
Walking blocks, and I just didn't have the right shoes for that at all. So I ended up walking them blocks, and then of course I was not dressed right because I didn't know we were going to be outside. Right. So I'm walking these blocks to get where I'm going, and I got on a dress shirt, and then I got on a nice dress sweater.
Okay.
So it's a little warm outside.
All right. Okay.
And I'm walking, and I'm not used to walking. So now I done sweat, and now my dress shirt is messed up, so I can't take my sweater off now.
So you should.
So I had to sit there all day with a damn sweater on. And
oh man,
I just felt. I felt dirty and nasty, and the clientele was not necessarily the cleanest. For the job itself, I was sitting outside of social services all day.
Oh really, man? What they have you doing out there? Spit shining shoes?
They hustle people into Obama phones. That's what the job was.
Oh, okay.
You hustle people to take Obama phones. It's like a sales job, but I'm not actually selling anything.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right.
I'm just saying, look, we outside of social services, so now times out of 10, you get something from them. If you get something from them, you can get this phone, B. Come sign up for this phone. Like
Right.
that's basically
That's basically what it boiled down to.
I want to give you. Yeah, that's what it boiled down to. I want to give you a phone. Why don't you come get a phone?
Right.
And these are and they're terrible phones. Like people always talk junk. Like people with Obama phones be getting like iPhones and stuff like that. No, player.
No, it don't work like that. Man.
There's two kinds. There's two kinds that I've seen. There's the one that's a regular old school bar phone, like
the candy bar phone, yeah.
You know, with a touchpad, you get unlimited text, but you have to work for them texts.
Right.
And then they got one that's a touch screen, and it is like the cheapest touch screen you can get. Like it is like mega cheap. And they give you when you get the touch screen one, you only get 250 minutes to talk.
Oh wow.
When you got the bar, they give you 500.
Man. So
yeah.
Okay, so it's I've never heard of this hustle. It's a new hustle to you, boy. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about Scar's Scar's interview and how that all went and everything. So yeah, man, that's interesting though. Because I would think, like, who wants a candy bar phone nowadays? I don't want a candy bar phone nowadays, right? I want a touch.
I mean, there were so many people. Well, see. Here's the thing. If you have a plan where you don't have unlimited talk at this point, like, come on, dog. Like, what are you doing?
Right. Come on.
I got unlimited talk and text. You know, my plan only really covers the data. I pay $35 a month.
Right.
If you can't afford $35 a month, you probably shouldn't have a phone.
Right.
But let's keep in mind, the plan is 40, but since I'm on auto pay, they dropped it $5.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean but a lot of those people around there, they were like, yeah, I already got one, or yeah, I applied for one before, but y'all told me I didn't qualify, and all this other stuff. That was basically the same. That was the same type of shit I was hearing all day long. And the worst part about it is, I was out there all day long. I'm shadowing this dude. I can't sell nothing. I can't do nothing.
Right.
And for the most part, I'll just, some people come sit down near me and we talk about Richmond. You know what I mean? Like, it was like,
right.
I couldn't do nothing about the phones. I couldn't do nothing. So yeah.
Man, I hate to hear that, man. Well, I mean, and I hate the fact that you still physically hurting from that. You know what I mean? Because like, yeah, that sucks, dude.
Yeah. It really sucks, but I'm okay. But my right leg is still feeling kind of sore, and if I step on it wrong, it feels a little bit more than sore.
Man, that's tough, man. So hopefully you'll keep us surprised, man, on how that all situation works out for you. I don't know if you're gonna go back in for the other interview or what. I don't know if that's something you want to do.
No, because here's what happened.
Okay.
We finally go back. We finally go back in the office, and he starts talking to the big dog. Big dog is highly unprofessional. Now, keep in mind, a job yet.
Right.
No one has actually offered me a job. I'm just a guy that's shadowing somebody that day. So he tells her how many phones he got rid of today, and I guess he was a couple short of his daily goal. The daily goal is to try to get rid of somewhere around 10.
Okay.
And I think he had 8, because let's be honest, he gave a couple to the other guy that was with him, that was moving phones with him, the guy that he's really training right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he was trying to help him out.
Okay, yeah.
But she was like crazy unprofessional, and she was like, "Oh, that's bullshit, and I need you to get on your fucking job," and all of this other stuff. I'm just sitting right there in the lobby, like, you're really acting this way with me sitting right here?
Right, man.
Like, I don't even work for you yet, and if this is how you gonna act with your employees, like, why do I want to work for you?
Right, exactly. Like, that's problematic in many regards, dog.
So here's what makes it worse. All right. Okay. So So after she chastises him for a minute, she brings me into her office to talk to me about the job.
Okay.
She asked me about the job or what I thought about it, and I tell her just in as plain a term as I know. Just like the job ain't hard. Like it's not, and I'm talking to her the way that I would talk to you, not somebody that I plan on working for.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm talking to her like I'm talking. The job ain't hard. I want to give you a phone. You want a phone? You ain't got to pay me nothing. Look, all I need is your ID. Like I'm talking to her. I'm talking to her like that. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, you're one of the few people that actually understands this job right off the bat. I'm like, really?
It's not that difficult.
I'm like, really? And she was like, I would like to offer you the job. I want you to come work for me. And I was like, I don't know. I have to think about my travel situation because I still live in Newport News, blah, 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 whatever. Right. Because the truth, I can't live in Richmond with my girl. She mad at me anyway, so.
So that sucks, man.
Yeah.
Just the in and out of that whole thing. That's a different dynamic though. Like being in a relationship.
No,
different dynamic.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
We got mad at each other. Well, she got mad at me, and we agreed that it might have been a good idea for me to go home.
Uh-huh.
And so when I left, I'm like, well, if I go home, I'm coming back. I'm not just going to keep coming back and forth for you to send me home. Like, I'm not really trying to drive an hour unnecessarily.
Right. You got to think about me and my time, my gas money,
Right. So I'm in Richmond all day. I'm in a sweater and it's warm.
You hot the mug?
I feel disgusting, and I don't know anybody else in Richmond. So that was the conversation of I'm not coming back was on Sunday. On Wednesday, I got to make that call. Like, Look, I don't want to start no beef. I don't want them to have it. Look, I don't care about everything that we said before. I need a shower. I don't know nobody else in Richmond, and I got to drive home a damn hour. Can I please just use your shower so I can just go about my business? Right. Like, I had to make that call. And then, of course, when I'm getting ready to leave, Rashani calls me and he doesn't want to get off the damn phone.
Right.
When I'm trying to tell her, okay, I'm done, I'm gone, whatever like that, in the middle of that, Rashani calls me and I'm like, I gotta go. And he's like, no, but blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I gotta go. Like,
I gotta get about here.
I'm trying to get the hell out of Richmond. Like, it did, like, just nothing that day went well. Like, I got lost on the way home. And then once I finally got my gas and got back on the interstate, it was an accident. Like, and this is like the type of day I was having.
Right, man. That's tough. That's a tough one to roll through, bro. I'm sorry for you. I know it sucks, but man, just keep pressing. It seems like you're getting some more luck out there. Keep pressing on, keep pressing in, and yeah, man. Hopefully things will go well for you, man.
The problem is everybody wants me to do sales. There's a job that my sister just got, and she's going to be working. I think the company makes auto parts or something like that, and she's an inspector of the auto parts. So I guess I'll be on the line somewhere, but it's time for me to do something to get my damn life back because I can't keep doing this. Right.
No, I hear you. Yeah, I got you, man. It's not easy, but like I said, man, just find something, man. Find something. Like I said, really apply with the federal government, bro, because it's a really good place to be. It's really good. Like I said, I don't know how the bases work out there with you, but you said you were out besides some old bases. I don't know.
I got mainly Air Force bases here. Fort Eustis is here. The Norfolk Naval Base is here. Like, all of that stuff is like really close. But every time I look on the website, I'm like, can I do? Am I qualified to do any of this shit?
Bruh, just hey, believe me, it looks intimidating, but look, sit down. I'll help you walk through it one weekend, man. We'll make it work. But yeah, man. So Will
also I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful about working on a base right now. Because the nigga ain't got insurance. So
but they get you though. You get it though. You get it. So
no. But in order to get on base, you have to have your ID and proof of insurance for your car.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Word up. Okay. Actually, here you don't need the proof of insurance. But that may just be here. But Will brought something to my attention, so I'm gonna bring it up. So if you're watching the stream live, Will said it's a little choppy right now on the video intake. I don't know what it is. Everything else in the house is shut down. Nothing else is streaming. So I think it's just I don't know if it's just YouTube right now for me. But either way, if you're watching,
you're not breaking up for me.
Okay. Well, your video is moving a little slow for me. And so I don't know what that is. Nevertheless, the whole point is if it's a little choppy for you on the stream, look, we appreciate you stopping in, but you can pick it up on the audio version because the audio seems to be coming through clearly right now. So
word up.
That's my disclaimer there. I do apologize for that because I hate it when it goes like that, but that's my disclaimer. Man, we spent a lot of time on that, but that was good because we needed that. Because let me jump into, so everyone here knows my dude Simpson. He is Jerkules06 normally in the chat. Thanks, Will. I understand if it's not watchable, bro, but there's nothing I could do about it. Like I've adjusted the bandwidth, man. I've tried to turn it up. It's just not much I can do at this point.
It seems to be working on my end. So, and I'm the one with the shitty internet connection.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like I normally have a great internet, and I'm the only one utilizing this. But yeah, catch us on the stream, Will. Catch us on the RSS feed, man. But so let's get on into it. So you know, Simpson and I met in college, right? We went to the same undergraduate university, Truman State University, and so he went back to homecoming this year, actually this past weekend, and he was like, man, this step show was like the worst thing he had ever seen. Because Simpson and I stepped together on step team for Alpha when we were in school, and we won a couple of competitions. We were fairly good, if I might say so myself.
Okay.
But man, he said it was terrible. He said it was terrible, and also. It made me think, though. It made me think because I've run into a lot of people when I work, down here with folks, and it's just thinking, black people and white people have different homecoming experiences. Cause see, and
exactly. I'm not homecoming for us. The whole weekend is an event.
The whole thing, it's a party. Friday night. It's a party Saturday morning. You go get up, you move around, you eat brunch or whatnot. It's a step show Saturday night. It's a party Saturday night, and you get up Sunday morning, you go have breakfast, and you get up. And then there's normally at our campus, there's like a gospel concert that morning, like early afternoon. Then you go eat lunch after that. Like it's just constant entertainment all weekend.
Absolutely.
And so it just makes me think, man, like I had a lot of friends in college who, weren't black, and I invited them to come to homecoming. They were like, man, we already got plans. Why don't you come out to this? I'm like, bro, you don't understand. It's a different homecoming. Like homecomings across the United States are different. Every school that has a significant African-American population, not even significant, like it can be small, but there are two homecomings that you need to ask about when you go. So when you go visit a school, if you're an athlete and you go visit a school and it's homecoming, make sure you ask about the right homecoming events. Like, be clear, yes. Be very, very clear on what you're expecting and what you would like to see. And ask people of different colors and different nationalities because you will get different responses. So,
bro, let me tell you something.
All right.
You want to see some black unity?
Uh-huh.
Go to the tailgate during the game.
To the tailgate?
whatever you want. You can get right, and you ain't gotta pay a dime. Go holler at old boy, get you some barbecue. Holler at my mans and them and get you some ribs.
Right.
Like they out there cooking hamburgers, hot dogs. Somebody got the potato salad, but we don't eat everybody potato salad.
Do everybody tater salad, bro. You can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
I mean, everybody, people out there smoking stuff like somebody broke the pit. Like it's real out there in the tailgate, bro.
Yeah, man. And that's what it is, man. Like, and here's the thing, in my school, like they didn't really celebrate football like we celebrated in my high school. Like my high school, we had a more live like stand area, like fan area than we had in my college, man. And it was crazy because the first time I went to a game and I cheered, somebody turned around and asked me to keep it down. I'm like, dog, this is a sporting event. You don't keep it down. You can keep it down in calculus class. You keep it down in Spanish class. You don't keep it down out on the field, man. So, yeah. And Awakened Heathen jumped in. What's up, Awakened? He's talking about Buffer. Yeah, man, Will left because he said that the video stream was a little off, man. So I encourage you, if you can, like if you want to hang in, you can hang in and watch the video. But if not, just, drop it to the RSS feed, openforumradio.com. You can check it out. Yeah. All right, man. Deuces. But yeah, man, it's just two different homecoming experiences. So I really want people to chime in with it.
I wonder what's the problem, because I mean, this is as stable of connections that I've had in a while.
Right, and I'm running off my my wired connection as per usual, and I don't know what it is, man. No one else is doing anything. My wife and them, they're just watching TV over the air. Like nothing else is on. No other streaming device is on whatsoever. So it's a little bit, it's a conundrum for me. I don't know, but I have been rating YouTube down recently because they asked me how's my experience, and I tell them it's garbage. So so I apologize for that, watchers. Listeners, you don't have to worry about that. So but Scar, I did have a question for you, man. Now I listen to the Levitard show just like you do, right? And they had a topic last week that I want to bring up, man, because they actually had two. One I just mentioned in passing a little later after this one, but this first one is Dan Levitard was talking about how the whole presentation of the NFL is getting stale. So my question is, do you think the NFL broadcasting formula is stale, where they have an analyst in the booth, they have a color guy, and then they have the commercials and they have the drops and they have everything and all of this rhetoric? Like, do you think that formula of presentation is getting stale?
Okay, so you asked a very wrong person to answer this question, but I'm gonna answer it as best I can.
Okay.
All right, so I don't think the presentation has gotten stale. I think a lot of what's happening with football, because of the changing views on the differences of how we watch football, the way people are acting over the protests and all of that other stuff.
Right.
I think what's changed is not necessarily the presentation hasn't changed that much. I think that it's stale, but I think the extra commentary that comes with it, like when you got people to feel like they need to stand up for their beliefs and all of this other dumb stuff, and they try to throw in little jabs and stuff while they're doing presentations. I think one of the worst things that happened when I noticed it, because I don't watch a lot of football, but I watch a little bit. One of the worst things that happened was Michael Vick and those dogs.
Yeah.
And now every single time Michael Vick is on a football field, somebody has to bring that up. And you know what I mean, you have to. Football is not like baseball. Baseball is long, is drawn out. And what happens off the field matters just as much, because there isn't a whole lot going on right now.
Right.
So all of this other stuff matters just as much when it comes to baseball. But that's not football. Football, it's constant action. It's not constant. It's not great action all the time. And after every play, they break for a few seconds and try to get everything back together and all of this other stuff. But I think it's the feeling of that time is where the quality of these have gone down.
Yeah, Yeah, no, I
And because
concur.
because 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 right now what's happening in our country is everyone feels like we live in a social media uh we live in a time where social media makes everybody important.
Right.
You are important. If you're on social media, you are important. If only just to you, you are important, and what you have to say is important. So everybody feels like they're important enough to, while we're on this break, I get to take my stand on something,
Right.
or I get to say years after the fact that I get to insinuate that Michael Vick killed some dogs, which is still stupid, but
Right.
like I get to do that, but I get to like we spent so much time in football recently just talking about deflated footballs. You know what I mean? Like the
Way too
time
much
that we
time.
use, right? The time that we use to fill that in between time, we spent talking about stupid stuff. And now that their
Right.
ratings are declining, they're going, we don't know what happened. Yeah, we do know what happened. Y'all spent too much time talking about dumb stuff, and we're not here for it no more.
Right. No, I completely agree. Just you're right, man. Just the filler that they feel like they have to just throw in arbitrarily is something that really detracts from the game. And I feel like if you don't have anything to say, then just don't really say anything. Football is exciting enough in its own right where it doesn't need to have this full on color commentary all 60
And
minutes of a game.
then add on top of that the no fun league, and how
Yeah.
they're cracking down on all of these penalties, and you can't celebrate like someone just got a penalty for banging his chest after he scored a touchdown, bruh.
Right.
I get it if you feel like I get it if you feel like you're taunting the other team.
Right.
I feel like if I'm talking a whole bunch of junk, which they talk junk all game anyway,
Right.
but like penalizing me for pretending to fire a bow and arrow,
It's
saying that
dumb.
that's a violent act. It's just getting outrageous. It's getting stupid, and I think the backlash to football
Mhm.
is perpendicular to the backlash of Roger Goodell.
You think so? You think he's the intersection? You think he's the one that kind of
I think
caused
I think
a lot of
he's
it?
I think he's the I think he's the problem from the outside looking in. He's the
Mhm.
problem because all of this stuff comes from him. He was Mr. Penalty. And now we're getting all of this stuff where we're penalizing people for doing stuff over the course of the game, and we forced morality into football over the past few seasons. We forced morality in football, where we spend all of this time talking about Deflategate because of cheaters, and we spend all of this time talking about these people who are doing stuff off the field, like Ray Rice and stuff like that, and like we are forcing the NFL to do more to these dudes than the law is doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we're holding our football to a higher standard than law.
And even further, I question to what standard they're holding it to, because a lot of these people, just have their own standard that they're trying to express, and they get upset when other people don't meet it. So I'm trying to figure out what standard they're trying to hold these players to. And you're right, a lot of times they want the NFL to step in to hold these players to a higher level of accountability than the law would, which again, it's a double-edged sword, because then they don't want to give Goodell so much power that he can usurp certain things. So
no, he grabbed the power and did it himself. Like
Mhm.
they have an agreement, and he's overreached his power. That's why almost all of these penalties that he's given out, they get shortened or overturned because he's overreaching.
Right,
And
right.
it's just it's ridiculous. And football, and then let's not forget that the quality of football has gone down tremendously, especially in Thursday games.
Right.
In Thursday games, never bet against the home team.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Yeah, 3 days rest. Never. The team that has to travel is probably going to have the worst day that day. And then you got games like the Seattle game yesterday, where it was all about the kickers and missing field goals, and you only had field goals scored, and it ended up being a tie 6-6 because the kickers couldn't kick.
Right, which is amazing that you get a 6-6 tie in this day and age. But I don't know. I just think it's an interesting conversation because Levitard made the argument that football is one of the few sports you could probably watch without the commentary and really not lose anything. But I don't want to be.
I play Madden and NCAA with no sound.
Right. But
you know what I mean? Like I don't need it. I don't need it for this. No, I don't need it.
Right, but and now let me shift gears a little bit because they also talked about one thing that I thought was just ironic. So Paul Pierce was giving his thoughts on the Golden State Warriors, and he was talking down super teams. I'm like, really, P Squared? Like the only reason you have a ring is because you formed a super team with Ray and KG.
Wait, brother.
Right. P Squared.
I'm not sure you're the one that can talk about this.
Right.
Now let's be honest. Let's be honest. Yeah, you stayed there, so you are not responsible for the super team. So you stayed there, and Danny Ainge got the hookup from his homeboy, which is the ultimate hookup. Like you got the hookup, and you got KG over there for a bag of donuts. Like you got KG over there for nothing. And then Ray Allen was like, "Well, if he gonna go, I'm gonna go." So then Ray Allen goes. Well, so I can see his. It's not like they did the same thing that LeBron and them did, where they all got together themselves and say, "Okay, we're gonna pull this off." But you and your team was awesome because of a super team. Like you can't. I mean, your team was awesome because of a super team, and if you are on one of those super teams, you can't be out here talking. It can't be you.
It can't be you, bro. It can't be you. It could be maybe your agent, maybe a representative.
No. If it was anybody else on that team other than those three dudes, if Rayon Rondo is the one that has the problem with the super teams, I would have no issues with it. No. But if you are a part of that trio, you can't say a word about no other super team. Now, let's be honest. Kevin Durant going to Golden State, straight bitch move. Sorry, no matter how you look at it, no matter as my kinfolk will say, I don't care how you see it or how you say it, it's still a bitch move. I'm sorry, like we're in a time where we're dealing with these millennials that we don't really understand.
Right.
We don't understand them at all. And we don't understand their ways. We don't understand who they are and how they got this way.
Right.
But like joining the Warriors after they beat you and already knowing that they had just set the record for wins.
Right. Right.
They don't need you. Like going in and if you win a championship with Golden State this year, it should come with an asterisk by your name.
You think so? Like we use an asterisk now?
I don't care if you win MVP, you are Finals MVP, if everything goes your way and you are awesome, it should come with a damn asterisk. And beside that asterisk, in the footnote, it should say he came here because of a bitch ass move. That's really what it's got to say.
Wow.
Going to hang out with the team that beat you, that was already considered one of the greatest teams in NBA history,
Right.
and just joining them when you were this close to getting to the champion, you were this close to getting to the finals with the team you had, but you messed up. You messed that up. You went cold for 2 damn games. You lost a 3-1, and then they lost a 3-1, and then you go, I'm gonna join them. That's a bitch ass move, and I don't care what nobody say.
Right.
So, but when it comes to these super teams like Paul Pierce, you can't be the one to say it.
You know, I concur. He can't be the one to say it, bro. He cannot be the one to say it. Like when I first heard that, I said, "Man, are you serious? Like, are you for real right now?" Because
the big three from there can't say it.
Right.
The big three from San Antonio can't say it, even though they all took less money in order to make that work.
Mm-hmm.
The big three from Miami can't say a word. Shaq and Kobe can't say a word.
No, they can't.
Shaq and Kobe can't say a word. Shaq and Kobe can't say a word. And who else? Who else can't say a word? I already said the Bulls, right?
Yeah. No, he didn't say the Bulls, but the Clippers. I would say the Clippers can't say nothing because they're trying to pick them.
But the Clippers ain't won nothing, so they can talk. They ain't won nothing.
But they can't really.
Why can't they win nothing? Because of the super teams. So they can talk. But the Bulls, who set the record in the first place, they can't say nothing because everything got amazing once they got the third guy.
You think so, huh?
Well, Jordan kept getting bounced out in the first round.
Right.
Came along and they started making some noise, but it wasn't until they had, like we no one thinks about like Horace Grant and like how just dominant Horace Grant was back in those days. And then once you get Dennis Rodman, that's your big three right there.
Yeah,
once you get Dennis Rodman, that's your big three.
You already have Pippen too. I mean, you can't discount Pip. Yeah, he was there.
No. I'm saying Jordan Pippen are the two.
Right.
No matter what, no matter how you look at it, Jordan Pippen are the two. Once you add that third piece, you can't say nothing. You can't say nothing else.
Nothing. See, no words at all.
Right. If you play with possibly the greatest defender in history.
Yeah. What up, Ace? Ace just dropped.
And greatest defender and rebound man in history. No, you can't talk.
Nah, exactly. Ace, I apologize, man. Look, the video might be a little off. I figured out what it is, but I can't fix it right now because I'm in the middle of the stream. So it'll probably be that way for the rest of the show. If you want to catch the audio, you can do so. But we still gonna hang around. But I got a question from Knox since you're here. We kind of talked a little bit about it on game night on Friday, but. Okay, so here's this question. He just texted to me. If you guys want your questions read on the show, you can tweet at L Asbury or at Scarfinger and just, hashtag face. And go ahead with your question.
Tell your boy to stop sending me Harambe stuff.
Sending you what?
Harambe stuff. Every time you send me something, it got something to do with damn Harambe.
Okay. Your boy, man, seems crazy. Okay, so hold on. All right, so he says this. So Knox says this. Clearly, Nintendo wants to go after the mobile market. And we know that there is a large mobile market, but console/mobile hybrids have not been nearly successful at tapping that vast market due to a degree of, say, an iPhone, etc. Knox is referring to the Nintendo Switch, which was announced earlier this week. Do you believe Nintendo can or will finally do it with the Switch? So do you think they'll tap into that hybrid market?
The only way that they're going to be able to pull this off is if they pull the plug on the 3DS and this is your new device to do both.
Okay, well, here's my thing.
If you don't have another mobile option other than your phone, because we know that there, when it comes to mobile gaming, outside of cell phones, and higher than the DS.
Mhm.
There's the Vita couldn't keep up, none of that.
Okay.
So in order for them, if you want to succeed, if you want this one thing to succeed in both areas, you're going to have to kill the other thing.
Okay. Now,
personally, I'm not interested at all.
Okay. Now, I concur with you that in order for this to, and here's the thing, I think that they've created this device so that they no longer have to double dip in their R&D department and create two different devices. I do believe that this could actually be their mobile version, their mobile platform moving forward. If that is the case, and it does share those markets, it really will be a true hybrid crossover. And I think it's the one console that could possibly acquire some of that market share from the handhelds and actually sit in an area all by its lonesome, because the DS has sold how many units? Like 168 million, something ridiculous like that. So if it can sit in that echelon and get 40 million people using it for a mobile device and 30 million people using it for a home console, that's 70 million consoles. That's not anything to sneeze at. That is a developer base that is huge. So
it's a base that's huge, but here's the problem.
Okay.
Here's the problem. What you're doing to the handheld market with this thing is the exact same thing that you did to the Wii. When the Wii U was announced, I said this thing isn't going to sell as much because grandma is not going to want this thing.
Right.
The reason why the Wii sold is because the controller was a remote. Grandma knows how to use a remote. She completely understands how to use a remote. Whether it's her moving it around, like, okay, but having a remote in her hand, she knows how to work. How many grandmas are going to pick up your tablet and use it?
Right. Not many, I know.
And then and see, when you go from a device like a DS to another touchscreen with interchangeable parts for the sides, that's the Achilles heel for this thing. These slide-in pieces, that's going to be the Achilles heel, because I mean, people are going to lose them things. They're going to break them things. I mean, depending on how good the quality is, like if that's plastic, if that thing is plastic, it's gonna be a problem.
Well, I mean, it's
because like at some point, those things are not gonna slide as well, or they're not gonna try to stay on the same way, and then you're just gonna create more problems for yourself. So I see that the controller thing is the way this whole thing is going to backfire.
See,
not just the screen. Which, do we know it's a touch screen yet?
Nintendo refuses to confirm that. They won't go into specs until next year, they've already said. So
and when you have a DS, your DS lasts a pretty long time. This thing, they said the battery life is somewhere around 3 hours.
Well, that's what they've estimated. I mean, Nintendo hasn't really released that info yet, have they? I mean, that's what analysts and everyone are estimating. But again, that's going off an older architecture that NVIDIA isn't really using anymore. It's a newer architecture that they just put in their new chips, and it actually has lower power draw. So that means any battery, so it draws less power and it will last longer. So we're not really sure on that. My estimate is 5 to 7 hours, but
and let's also say this thing is been announced that this thing is not backwards compatible.
Right, which is a killer, honestly. Well, but I understand.
Not necessarily. Here's the problem. Well, if it's digital, then we can roll with that. I mean, we can figure that if everything is digital, we can roll with that. We know that they got rid of discs, so that's the main thing of why this thing can't be backwards compatible, because they're using cartridges the same way that they have on the DS. So now, if I can use my DS cartridges in this thing, that might be a saving grace.
But I don't think it will be, because they said it's not compatible with DS either. I think they're using an SD card based format, which is going to be a little different. So
if that doesn't work, then this thing, I think initially it'll sell. kind of like the Wii U. When it first came out, it was the new thing. So it was like, okay, I'll jump on this new. And then people just started going, okay, what am I supposed to do with this thing?
Right.
I think the same. I don't see anything different happening because they're not gonna kill off the DS, not right now at least. So like, what do you? How do you?
Okay, so
how are you gonna have success with this thing? That's my question.
So the way you have success with this, in order to answer you and Knox's questions, the way you have success with this is to clearly state and clearly show that this device can actually be used portably, successfully, and comparably as a portable device. So with that long battery life, with that reliability of if you drop it, you're not going to completely shatter the screen. Like that stuff has to be in there. Yeah, Ace, we know the stream is hitching. We addressed that, bro. You could probably just check us on the audio. It's a problem that I can't address right now. But yeah, so you'll have to address it in that particular fashion. And the console, like when you plug it into the base. Now, many of us in the chat were under the assumption that the actual dock itself would enhance the graphics, kind of like the Surface Book Pro or whatever. How the actual base and the keyboard and that, when you connect it, actually has a GPU enhancement. It has a GPU in it, a discrete one that enhances the GPU, the processing power. My question is, how are you going to take the processing power that's supposed to be just sub PS4, sub Xbox One, that's going to be able to push all that power and be able to use it in such a way to where when it's used in a mobile capacity, the battery doesn't die on you within 20 minutes. So if they can find a way to technologically appeal there, then they might have an issue, but they might have some traction. But the biggest thing for many people is, will it support online? And I think if it can support online, like Xbox Live supports online, that is going to be awesome. So I'm telling you, man, they've never been committed to online because of their stance of their devices being for children. Right.
It's always been a problem. It's always been a problem for them because of their stance that this thing is always, their devices are for children.
Mm-hmm.
You have to shed that for this thing. If you want this thing to succeed, you need to shed the kid. You need to shed the kid mode.
Right.
Like, this thing ain't for kids. Especially because if you have these detachable controller pieces, it's definitely not for kids.
For sure, man. Like just the probability of those things being lost and the lack of a continual charge, because you have to charge each one of those separate holders on the side. Each one of them has their own little charge light on it. So that indicates to me that each one carries its own explicit battery. And that could be problematic because they may not be charged evenly. Something, I don't know. I just foresee a lot of issues with that. But again, I'm looking forward to it. If they can manage online, if they can find a way to make that battery power last and provide sufficient power when it's in home console mode, then they have a shot.
We have there's too many wishes about this thing. And there's too many things that we hope that they're going to be able to pull off. And every single time we hope something for Nintendo, they always go just short of the thing that we hoped for. Mm-hmm. They've never rose to the occasion. The Wii was a fluke.
Right.
Nintendo, ever since Super Nintendo, Nintendo has never rose to the occasion. And that's going to be the downfall of Nintendo. They've always marched to the beat of their own drum. They've always sold you the same games over and over again. Shout out, rest in peace, Jaybird, who had acquired Wind Waker like 4 times, or Ocarina, whichever one of those, but like 4 different times on 4 different systems, because they keep, one time they gave it to them for free, but buying the same game over and over again. And Nintendo keeps selling them the same games over and over again. Like if my downloadable games I can still get, and if downloadable and the internet infrastructure is solid, then that's cool. But it doesn't seem like they're trying. It doesn't seem like they're trying, and that's always been Nintendo's problem. They don't try.
Well, I disagree. I think they try. They just want